Okay, hi guys. I'm here at home with my cat Bub, and I hope he lets me get through this. It's going to be a little dry because I'm not going to have too much music. I'm going to try to throw some on, but I wanted to get this out to you all. So I chose the Bible as literature because I love reading the Bible, mythology, um, Babylon, Greek mythology, any type of sci-fi is right up my alley. Oh, and horror movies. So I'm going to pop off the screen because I can't keep this my image on the whole time. So here we go. I have a whole lot of slides to get through, so I'm going to go through the first half like really fast, and then we'll focus on the last stories. Okay, so we'll go ahead and begin. So when you read the Bible, you kind of want to understand the literature that's in it. That um, it doesn't have to be taken to heart. You can read this and have fun with it, apply it to your life, and pull in other religions if you like. That's what it was meant for. The writers, the authors, they use their imagination and they expect you to use yours. Um, it's like most literature is fictional. It's kind of like whatever the artist wants it to be, the author. So you kind of have to watch out for that. Um, so here we have, a few catch forms that you'll find, look up that you'll look for, and then we'll get into, these beautiful pictures. I'm using Sway. Um, I really like it. Um, there was media to find and all type of pictures and everything. So whenever you have a class project, you can look for Sway. It's on your apps for your school account. So this is just talking about, you know, using metaphors in the Bible. They're, you know, recyclable words. The Lord is my rock, and you know that He's not really a rock. It's kind of like whatever rock you need, and but it gets tricky because it's Jesus is almost like a myth now because you really can't actually. This one right here to the left looks just like my brother, and what's really weird is a lot of these people in these pictures look like my family members. Yeah, like we're really weird. So like Jesus is like kind of like a spin-off, a myth, with other cults that broke off and formed their own religions. Um, that's all in the Bible, how they were all scattered across and they couldn't speak to each other. And, this is how they all ended up forming these different tongues, um, and kind of like applying what they knew. But they all took mythology. It all started with like a sun god. So it's a lot of symbols and they need to be translated. And, um, that could be done in school, which I originally thought like the Bible in school would be great because I felt like it was good life lessons. And I remember just like this going to Sunday school and being real happy. And, I figured that it would add something good to society, but I'll let him tell you.
Did you know that it was the state of Massachusetts in 1852 that inaugurated the first statewide compulsory school system? By 1918, every state had compulsory attendance laws, with the idea that public schools provide a religiously neutral education for students.
Horace Mann advocated for compulsory education as the first secretary of the Massachusetts Board of Education and is considered the father of American public education. His curriculum featured the Bible as a tool to teach moral character, Judeo-Christian values, and responsible, virtuous citizenship. Mann also believed that the Bible should be taught without doctrine or theology. He said,
"Our system allows it to do what it is allowed to."
Okay, well, moving on along, that didn't happen. Basically the children that are in public schools have gotten redlined and This is just how it is. And growing up, I always felt that Catholic people and Christian people and people that went to these type of schools had a more of a status. But then I try to look on the other side of it, like, well, maybe you're just on the outside looking in, but I'm not trying to like step on anybody's toes or anything, but the Christianity is confusing. That's why when I was asking those questions when I was little and nobody could answer them, it all sounded like blah 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 blah, because that's exactly what it is. And I could notice that at 8. But some people really just are too, they just get too much into it. Like, it's just, they need to read it as literature instead of some rule book. Like, I mean, it's a good guidebook, but whatever. But I was also like, um really shocked about all the slavery in the Bible. Like, that just shows how naive I was, um, to not know that, these people, Hebrew slaves were, um, they were slaves. Yeah, Hebrew slaves. I guess what they call it, Hebrew slaves. The Hebrew slaves were slaves, and they, then it was a non-Israelite slaves. But what they did was, the Puritans people, or the people that came over here, they brought those rules with them, and they kind of like tricked people into thinking like, yeah, this is what you do, this is your new God, this is your, well, really, no, it's not. Like, you need to go and look into your history and see if you can go back to anywhere and get some kind of other kind of spiritual thing to add. I'm not saying that Christianity is wrong. It's been picked apart so much that you got to decode it. So you got to know. And then you got these dudes right here. And then Professor, I'm telling you, this, I'm not trying to say you beat women, but this dude looked just like you. Okay, I was thinking that when I put this slide on. But this just talking about, how men go too far. And they might not even know the scripture, and they're just like, you ate the apple and you're a snake. And I mean, it's too much. Like, and that's how I be looking right there when they be talking like that. Like, there's prominent women in the Bible, and like, for real, like, for me not wanting to deal with it because it's just so much confusion, is that I really thought that there not that many women in there, and Jesus is the only one that was nice to them, for real. So, but we can just look at that as like male. Um, we let them do it to us women. No, that's how I be looking right there when I would be thinking about it. But I also would be thinking that we let them do what they do, and nobody checks them. And like, if that's their like belief, then you need to keep it moving. If you can't deal with that man, because he's gonna probably end up hitting you upside the head, like, for real. But there were women like Deborah, and I didn't know that Jesus had financial backers. And I mean, they like, the people really make me feel like, nothing to being a woman when these people come to you with just scripture trying to manipulate you. But these are just ways that you can kind of look at it and see, scientifically, I try to look at it like that, but there's not really too much that you can relate it with science, because you have to run all these tests, and it is a good way of new ways of learning, but that's not, that's not going to happen. And the the um the crazy part about it is that there's more evidence pointing to, creation, like facts, like science. But I guess everybody's like only believes in what the Bible is, or they don't want to admit it, or they're living some kind of lie. But this brings me to Ezekiel, and I want to get through Ezekiel so I can share you some really cool stuff I liked about him. For one, he is an apocalyptic author. So he's like a prophet, and he's like one of the people that um, talk to God. So they like um, made him a slave. They stole him too. That's him. Look, they made him a slave too. And while he was doing his slave ship, he was like a smart guy, like a scholar. So while he was like doing that, he have all of these prophet things that he put in the Bible. And there's let me show you this real quick, and then we're gonna keep it moving. Okay, this is like, Ezekiel has so many
The
stories.
ligaments and the flesh and the skin will all come back, and the
Okay,
very dry. You know how dry the bones? If it's
okay, you
the list
yeah, I'm gonna
in Masechet Sanhedrin, who are the Jews that God forbid have no
okay, so
share to
everyone has a story of Ezekiel, and the Ethiopians just love it the most. And I say let them have it because like we done stole everything from everybody. So shoot, I believe them. Like they say that those scribes that were found in the Dead Sea, those came, I mean those scrolls, excuse me, those little tablets or whatever that was found originally belonged to them. But of course, you know, we going back and forth and how it's ours and it's like a Christian thing and all of that, but yet it's not in the Bible. It's taken out. I guess because it's like sci-fi stuff. But look at this real quick. So this is like an animation, right?
Oni
Of
i
these
przodkowie ich
visions he
występowali
saw of
przeciwko
this
mnie
creature come
aż do
down.
dnia dzisiejszego. To ludzie o bezczelnych twarzach i
Yeah.
zatwardziałych sercach.
So that this creature came
Jak ten
down,
lud
three of
zbuntowany.
them,
Otwórz usta swoje i zjedz, co ci
and
w innym języku,
that's the
których
spaceship.
słuch byś nie zrozumiał.
Yeah, so that's his spaceship that God came down in a chariot and showed him all of these end of times. I like end of times literature. I see that um, um, visions, and he went back and I don't know. I think he disappeared or something. I really don't know what happened to him, but he is in the Old Testament. It's in the Old Testament, and it's not in the New. They talk about this wheel like image, this machine that came out of the sky, and this man, this scientist man, he wrote a book about it, and he wrote a book about the patent that he got from NASA for the omnidirectional wheel. And he said he saw
Out of
this
the
coming.
fire
Yeah,
there
he
was
did.
lightning
The
going
stories
forth,
that he heard he put
and
together.
on the part of the living creatures there was a
He was a skeptic, and so he did all this research, and then he put this together, and he came up with this wheel, and this wheel got a patent on it from NASA, and then he met up with another scientist guy that made the temple, and the temple and the wheel actually fit as like what Ezekiel saw in his I keep wanting to say premonition, but in his visions, in his dreams, but he was talking to God. So, you know, but also all other religions have this in there, especially Ethiopian Eastern Orthodox. They love Ezekiel, and I don't blame them because he's cool, and I really enjoy learning about him. I'm a little tired now, and I had to throw my notes to the side because I was taking forever. So I explained to you about the temple. So now we're going to move on to Enoch. Okay. Also, another visionary, another apocalyptic book, end of times book, another dude that the Ethiopians is claim was theirs too, and we saying that he's Hebrew, so nobody knows. Okay. So you know he's cool because he sees visions and he has lots of symbols in the text when you read it, and they all connect to Revelation, Ezekiel, and Daniel, my favorite. So we're gonna keep this moving. I'm just gonna show you like Enoch. His visions were that he saw watchers, he saw fallen angels. The fallen angels would came down from heaven to get with the immortal, to get with the mortal people, and they had giants. Okay, and these giants were supposed to have been wiped out, and they're supposed to be bones of these giants. I'll show you at the end. But he also saw. I'm trying to think. Was there anything else? These are all his. This is where they found. Um, this is where the Dead Sea Scrolls were found. Um, These are also more imagery of the Watchers. These are the Watchers. This was the Giants. It's also the area Quorum where the Dead Sea Scrolls were found. And this lady's pretty cool too, but we're gonna move on right on past her. So now we are going past Enoch. So he's also really old from the book of Genesis, like 365 years before God. So it's old. And these scribes they found were very old, and they were just fragments. So these right here, I'm gonna show you. It's like this is right here is a giant skeletons. Now I don't know if it's real or not, y'all, but it was on here. It seemed like it's grabbable, but and I heard that before. So, but I think if it was real bones, they would have hid it from us anyway by now. So these are right here. That's just the the scrolls right here, the tablets. I could show you, but and that's what's cool about Sway is that I could have clicked on any of this, that's these videos and been showing that video to you. But I could put a link and then if you are interested, you can, you know, watch it with the link and you can move it around how you like. So this is Revelation and it's really scary, scary stuff. Okay, it's about, you know, um, locusts and smoke and volcanoes and trumpets and you know this dude I don't mean to call him this dude. I think his name is John. I'm sorry. I think his name is John, and he's also end of times literature, um, which you know you can't be reading this and take it seriously because you're gonna be thinking you're dying tomorrow because then in his visions he saw four horsemen that were sent out by Hades, and the pale one was the one that was coming to kill everybody, and he did. And then once he killed everybody, that horse, what the other horses first the red one starved everybody, and then the other one, these horses right here, they all got unleashed. I see how this looked like a big war, and that's how I pictured it when I was reading about it. So, I mean, it was like way more worse than this. It was like volcanoes exploding, and then the other horse came back and killed everybody again. And um, it, you know, started as I think that seven seven song. Oh, it was a message of assurance. I don't see how that's a message of assurance. It's telling these seven churches with these seven seals, with these seven kings to open these seven things at the same time, and then four of these all these sevens and symbolic of people and all type of symbolization is in the book of Revelations. It was my favorite book. I could sit here and keep talking about it and talking about it. I could have did more research on it, but unveiling. And you know, I was most attracted to this book until I was introduced to Daniel. So that's the book of Revelations. This is the book of Daniel. Okay, he's like really cool. Like that's him in there with the lions, and you know he's this really nice guy. See, those are his friends, and you know his friends are all good to him. Like his friends are really good, but everybody else is a snake. Like they have these um he had to take a test, and they said that he failed the test, and then um the they some two kings died, and he was telling these kings all these dreams, and then one of the kings, these kids are cute too, but I'm not going to stay here though. But so one of the kings were you're gonna be learning about. One of the kings died, then the other king died, then the third king, they put him in the lion because in the den because he didn't want to say that he worshiped some other guy, the king. He wanted to worship Jesus. He knew he to worship Jesus. He thought just for a minute, if he didn't, even though I was thinking like maybe for a minute, if I just lied for Jesus, would that be okay? Like, but he had to keep it up for 40 days or something. So that probably gonna make a habit or something. Like he couldn't do it. So he was like really messed up, and he was like just praying, and he had like strength, and he was put in the lion's den, and none of the lions bit him, none of the lions hurt him. He was probably in there laying with the lions, and he knew that it was from God. Because one thing I forgot to say was that he's like the judgment. He's like something prophecy about like judgment, and he is like God on earth. He is like something, his name or something means that God is in him, that he has seen through God. So, like I said, this dude, King Nebuchadnezzar, he didn't believe what he was saying, kept pressing him out, and then he kept talking about, oh yeah, God, he is going to, I'm better than him. I got more money than him or something. He was saying, I'm smarter. And so God was like, okay, and turn the man into a beast. And the man lived like a beast for another 7 years, and then he came back, and then he got with the program, you know. So I guess he just died after that. I don't know, but Daniel, it's like I like him a lot because he is like inspiring music. He inspires literature. There's so much stuff I found on him. I was stuck, like I was stuck on him. I felt a lot like I felt a lot like Daniel, except for I don't have a lot of good friends. So like at least he had that, but I don't have to go in no lion's den, and that just makes me think of like when it's bad and you know it's your um do you make the right choice, and you know you're going to be laughed at, people are going to F you over, you're like people going to take you as you're too soft, or you don't believe in God, even worse. But you know, this belly of the beast here, like they make it hard for you to believe, because this right here, I really like this picture. So this is like you or me inside of this Babylon. Okay, so Babylon is New World Order. You're in Babylon. You live in Babylon, okay? All the things that were in Revelations, all these scriptures that were in Daniel, Enoch, some other dude too. I forgot. I couldn't get to him. You know, it's all lead up to stuff like this. And then when you really look at it, it's a blueprint to what has happened. To what has happened. What's in Revelation is what is going to happen. But this is supposed to be what has happened. And when you go through the timeline, you see that there was an old world, and then there was a new world. And then after this new world, after Alexander the Great conquered the new world, the Protestants or the evangelicals or the Christian peoples, they came and they snuck on in. Even though they took the Pope, they took his power, but it was still in charge. They snuck on in, came on over here to the United States, and now here we are, y'all. How you like it? Babylon. But one thing is that it is a separation. It's supposed to be a separation of church and state, but actually I had just read something I couldn't get in here about the Pope speaking to some like a law enforcement, some law enforcement people about about but my thing is that why is the Pope and them talking to law enforcement, like isn't that like Jesus died for his sins? So like if you're mixing sins now with law enforcement, so can they come and lock you up for your sins? That's why I said forget about the Bibles in school. Teach your kids like if you want them to be well off, and you can be hanging all up in the Catholic school, even though that music scares me, and it's always been something about Catholic music and anything related to that that scares me. And this is what it was, because I really didn't understand about the Sabbath. I didn't know that about Jesus. That's how much I pushed it out of my mind, because it sounded like blah 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 blah. So this is Just like somebody in my family too. I'm telling you, everybody but no, this is where it started. Okay, it started with the sun gods, like I was saying in the beginning. Okay, these are just various images of sun gods. I like that one. They're cute. I really like these things. I love reading all about. I read the Odyssey of Homer over and over and over again when I was young. I also read Trojan Horse. So that was my introduction to, you know, that astrology and everything, and then leading up to the Bible. So, and those people baptized me too. Like when I went to Sunday school, those people baptized me at Brother Matt's church, and now I'm like, hold on now. I was just eating a little wafer for something else. I wasn't eating a wafer to make a sacrifice of life. So now that I learned that they, the man changed the day of the Sabbath. I had to go back and forth. Is it Saturday? Is it Sunday? Is it Saturday? Is it Sunday? I mean, I still don't know. Okay, because I mean, I just don't know. I always worked on Saturday and Sunday, so I guess I'm cleared with God. It's like no, this dude right here, Constantine, he changed the Sabbath to the Sunday. And these people at these newsletter in England people, they recognized him and what he was doing, and they called him on it, and it was, something that actually that got him, his title stripped, but it never changed. It always stayed the same. They crept back over here. They crept over here from where they were at, and started all of this, all Sabbath Sunday. Ever since growing up, I always, that's what I thought was the I've heard people day of rest Sunday. I need my day of rest Sunday and Saturday and I mean I up until now I work every day, so I really don't understand. And then the day of rest, I don't get no day of rest like if I need some money, I'm just resting now and I'm broke. So I don't know, like, are we signing up for this? Like have we like signed away on this? That's why when people go and explore other religions, because you don't want to just belong to something just because you feel lonely, or they got some advice, or you can go to the church and make some connections or find a man, Ebony, and get married and then divorce because your church mother made you go get married and then divorce. So I mean, it's just like, yes, you need religion because yeah, even though I've been through a lot of different things that I read about, um, get over there, bub. See, here you come. But I'm done now. Even though I've been through a lot of different scripture that I like to read about, like sci-fi and um, mythology and anything like that. When I did tell myself that I didn't believe in, and when I told myself that I didn't believe in God, that's when it was like shown to me like that you're wrong. You're thinking wrong. Like you need to have faith. Like that, because I can go on and on and on and on and on about stuff that's happened to me that maybe can make me sound like a nut for real. But it only happened when I say, "Oh, it ain't no God. Oh, it ain't nothing to do." Yeah, my life is just as bad, if not worse now. But I don't see. I have things come to me, but I don't see that I'm sorry, my cat is right here and he is really blowing me, but I made it to the end. But anyway, you understand what I'm saying, right? I You need religion. You need to believe in God. You need to believe in something. If you want to believe in the Bible, then that's cool. All Christians are not bad, but look how it's broke up. It's split up. It's confusing. So just do your research and don't let anybody put you into something that you don't want to do. And if as soon as you not true to yourself, then you're going to have to keep paying that back. Even if you think that being true to yourself is helping someone too much, or being too nice, or being a pushover, this stuff will keep happening to you. So it's going to happen 10 times worse if you say that you don't believe in anything. So believe in what you like. I believe in God. I haven't come up with my own name for him, but I love God. I don't really get y'all. You better get scared. It's like, no, I'm just saying. I was really trying to scare y'all. Y'all better be glad I didn't have enough time, because I was really coming for y'all. I was gonna try to scare y'all, but it's scary, but it's not. It's scary because it's stuff like this that's happening, and you like, it's right there. And just think of what we don't know. So that's just what they let us know, and what people have put together through reading everything, twice, whatever. Even if you don't get along with those people, still learn about what they do, and then, respect that. So thank you, y'all, and um have a good night. All right.